Alright, well, apparently, in order to get Moran's last databank entry, we need to talk to everybody until nobody in the cantina has anything left to tell
Bioma's no
us.
longer a threat.
Well done. Can't say I'm surprised. You and Beatty are tough customers. Biomas like that one you took out are trouble. They'll turn a room into a patio if you're not careful.
I believe it.
Reminds me of a pest I tangled a few years back. Nothing could get through its skin neither. Here's the kicker though. This creature had tentacles too. Ooh, don't remember the name of it, but it was mean. I wasn't having all kinds of trouble until I remembered something my mama used to say. If your weapon can't fell a beast, make the beast your weapon. So, I drop my spear, grab one of the beast's tentacles, and coil it around his throat until it was over.
Smart.
That's what your enemies do, ain't it? Turn your strengths into liabilities. Talk soon. That giant piazza you sweet talk reminds me of a time when I was out on a mountain hike with my older brother. We came across a tibity. Ever seen one?
Yeah, those are enormous.
No kidding. Beautiful specimen. Was gonna leave well enough alone. Then, all of a sudden, the tibity snatches my brother and takes flight. I scramble up a cliffside. Didn't want to hurt the tibity, mind you, but I had to save my brother. Threw my spear, pierced the beast straight through.
That must have been quite the throw. How'd you manage it?
And what choice did I have? Brother fell, got a few scrapes. He was lucky. Wish I could have talked that tibity down. But there are some fights you just can't avoid. Garacos. They fight to the bitter end, don't they? Especially when they're injured.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of beasts are like that. I learned the hard way on a family outing once. My first time leading. Tracked a kivaroa back to its nest. It was killing livestock. No other choice but to put it down. Played the approach perfectly. Found an opening. But my family was watching, so I decided to get a little bit fancy. Lost my concentration. One of its legs slams down, inches away from cracking my spine. Mama pushed it aside in the nick of time. And finished that kivaroa no frills.
That's a close call.
Yep. Hey, you corner something, it'll do what it needs to survive. Even when you have the upper hand, never underestimate your prey. Gal, glad you're here. There's talk of a giant piazza nesting in an animal graveyard on the far side of the valley. Figured you want to check it out.
You figured right.
Look at you. Already sounding like a local. Oh, before I forget. I heard there were a pair of newcomers over by the stone spires. I want to look for them.
I already found them. They're gonna start a holotactics table at Pyloon's.
Now we're talking. A piazza that size, well, just don't take it lightly.
I won't. Thanks, Mosey. With all your expeditions, what keeps you on Kobo?
Even though I've been here a bit, Kobo is still a wild land. The Outer Rim is the frontier. So much is completely unexplored.
So it's the unique flora and fauna?
Partially. But another big reason is that on the frontier, you can reinvent yourself. I could be an outlaw, making a fresh start, and you'd have no idea.
Are you an outlaw?
You don't know. That's the beauty of it. Did anyone tell you about the Mogu around the raider base?
No, found it myself. Took it down.
You don't mess around, do you? Later, BD. You hear there's a Garaco stalking around Dreader Gorge?
Saw it myself. I took care of it.
Ooh, nasty fella. Reminds me of a creature my sister and I hunted on Farana. Fast, strong, tore through everything in its path.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah. Lit a fire in me. Pushed myself as hard as I could. Guessing it was the same with you. I was hoping to run into you.
What did I do this time?
Just want to say goodbye, that's all.
Oh,
Where are you headed?
Well, not sure exactly. Just feeling restless. Time to move on.
Take care, Mosey.
You're a hell of a hunter, Cal. Hope to see you again.
alright, that's her gone.
Hi, Cal. There aren't any Zabrak hanging out in the outpost, right?
Not that I've seen.
Huh, thank goodness. Thought I was gonna have to book it for a second there.
Are there people out to hurt you?
Only always. But I owe these Zabrak quite a few credits for an incident I was involved in.
You get into a lot of trouble, don't you?
The less you know, the better. Trust me. I can always run, start a new life. No, Turgle, not again.
You ever think about taking trips off-world, Turgle?
Maybe. But I'd keep my home base here, of course. But I imagine owning multiple luxury homes across the galaxy. As my fame and fortune grow. I hear the lakes on Naboo are beautiful this time of year. And Diego's got 1,000 moons. 1,000! That's so many! My genius is paid off again!
What happened?
Well, I told an Imperial officer that I knew about a secret priorite deposit.
Do you know a secret priorite deposit?
No, but I figured he'd pay me first and I'd find one along the way. So me and Olympi walked the Kobo Plains for hours. We're walking, and walking, and walking, and walking.
Okay.
Impy's starting to get real mad. Suddenly, I spot something shiny in the distance. Olympi runs ahead to find...
A priorite deposit?
Nope. A Rancor caught in the majestic Kobo sun. I hid behind a rock until the Rancor left. Want to know the best part?
What?
The imp had 5 credits on him. Score! Cal, the Empire set its sights on Kobo, and everyone's jumping planet. Now, it's not my nature to stick my nose in other people's business. But are you leaving too?
For now. You gonna be alright?
Better than all right. I've got a plan. This might surprise you, but I've been pushed around my whole life.
You don't say.
No one ever took me seriously, and I can use that to my advantage. And just when the Empire lets its guard down, that's when I strike.
We've all gotta fight the Empire however we can.
That's right. I'm a Kobo local and proud of it. This is my home, and I'm gonna defend it.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Guess I'm fine too.
It's alright if you're not.
Hey, don't get mushy on me. Do I miss Grok? Well, sure I do. I mean... You know what hurts the worst? The old man was strong, sharp, grumpy enough to curdle clear water, too. But beneath all of that, he actually believed that a couple of nobodies like us could strike it rich. Too many skeptics and cynics out there, Cal. You find a believer, you hold on tight.
I hear you.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Cal, you been holding out on me?
It depends. What are we talking about?
I heard there's a whole shipload of High Republic knickknacks just sitting around in those spires. You wouldn't believe the kind of credit some of these elite types will pay for that crap.
Terrain's pretty rough. Not ideal looting conditions.
Yeah, Toa was telling me all about it. Of course, she wanted to put him behind glass.
You don't trust her with them?
Don't be naive, buddy. It ain't doing anybody any good in the hands of some historian. Follow the credits. That's what I do. I'm getting pretty fed up. Folks treating me like a wounded bogling.
Doesn't help, does it?
Not a scrap. It's not like I've never been alone, either. Practically raised myself on an orbital mining station.
What was that like?
I saw a lot. A whole lot. My heroes were the spacers who ran supply contracts. They'd drop by for a few days, cash in, usually gamble most of it away in the sabacc dens. But they weren't rooted, you know? And it took me about 16 years to figure out that I wasn't rooted either. So I hopped on a tramp freighter, never looked back.
You got out. I'm glad you did.
You know, I'm glad too. I didn't get out of there. I never would have met the old man.
You sticking around, Dana?
Of course I am. I wager Kobo's got plenty more to give. Those imps will have to drag me out of here in pieces. Ain't gonna be the same without Grok, though. They sure don't make them like that anymore, huh?
No, they don't.
Still, I'm liable to miss the next score, or a blaster muzzle in my face if I stand here whining.
Hard to find the time to mourn when you're trying to stay afloat.
Yep, you get it.
Ever pick up any good tips from bartending?
For starters, every client has a tell.
What's my tell?
Well, if I told you, it wouldn't be a tell.
Fine. So what's your tell?
My incurable honesty.
What skills do you need to be a good bartender?
Oh, the usual. Multitasking, a good memory, the gift of the gab, not to mention the mixology itself. You see, the better the drinks, the happier the clientele, which means, of course, the more they talk. And the more they talk, the more I learn about what makes them tick.
Sounds a little...
Manipulative? I suppose. But I'm only picking up what they're freely putting down.
Hey, Monk, where'd you and Grease meet?
I probably shouldn't say.
Gambling den?
That's right. I was tending bar for a sabacc game that Grease frequented. He was looking for a partner. I was looking for a change of venue. We got to talking, and before long, that was that.
And you could have found a safer place to make a credit.
I'd choose the Bedlam Raiders over my old line of work any day of the week.
Let's hope you don't have to make that choice.
All right, Monk's not gonna talk,
You
right?
look tired. Take a load off.
Oh no, he
Grease a good
will.
business partner?
Better than my former employers, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah?
Underworld types. You know the sort. I work the bar mostly. But some of my other responsibilities, back of the house, let's just say when my restraining bolt malfunctioned, I moved on to greener pastures without a second thought.
If you're ever willing, I'd love to hear the whole story.
We'll see, sport, we'll see. I'm the type to leave the past in the past.
Is Monk done?
Barkeep,
What can I do for you?
I don't
No.
like to talk much about your past, do you, Monk?
No, I don't. Do you?
Not really. But if you don't open up to anyone, how can you make any friends?
Fair point, Cal. Let's just say, in my previous job, information was currency. And I know a few unsavory sorts who wouldn't mind cashing in.
Do you really see visions?
Not in the way you assume. I observe the world around me, and the voice within my mind speaks. Everyone at this outpost has a unique energy. Take Doma, for example. Strong, like a boulder.
Well, I wonder if they talk to
When
Doma
waves of
too.
fear swirl around the cantina, they crash against our boulder and abate.
She makes everyone feel safer.
Yes! Once she asked me what would happen if she left Kobo. I told her what any with open eyes could see.
The outpost would fall apart.
You see it too, Sojourner.
Hey, how come you never charge me for our chats? You make everyone else pay for your wisdom.
Ha! If wisdom could be obtained with credits, all would possess it. Every fortune has a price. But a conversation between friends is priceless. That is why I do not charge you, Sojourner.
Thanks, Tulocked.
Cal,
Sojourner.
laughter is light. Oh, but my time on Kobo grows short.
Any last words of wisdom?
The wind
Oh, good.
whispers paths of sand. A blotted sun. A shadowed hand.
Not even gonna try to guess what that means.
So you have learned,
It usually takes a while.
as it should. Farewell, Jedi.
Safe travels, Tulocked.
Okay, so she's the first one to leave.
So how'd you like playing on Coruscant?
At first, I loved it. The Undercity's this melting pot of all these different struggles. A real vivid place, you know? After a few months of small gigs, though, I got bumped up to the popular clubs. Didn't take long for me to start hating it.
Not your scene.
It wasn't a conversation, you know? Those crowds just wanted to be able to say they'd seen the next big thing.
Sounds like you were really on the rise.
Well, my agents were ambitious. Scored me a deal that could have had me on billboards all over the core. But I said no.
That takes guts.
Well, so does slicing up raiders. But you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Keep on doing your thing.
So Coruscant turned out to be a creative dead end, huh?
Exactly. Life's too big to waste on something that isn't working out. You understand?
Yeah, I gotcha. So you took off?
Abandoned my label, my penthouse, the promise of fame, all of it.
Where'd you go?
Left my agents a note and hopped on the next transport to Kuat.
An industrial world. Just like your homeworld, right?
Yep. New and familiar, all at the same time.
So you ended up on Kuat. Shipyards must have some interesting sounds.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely filthy soundscape. Real solid samples. Things got really going when I met Dee Dee, though.
You found him in the shipyards?
That's right. I used to hang out at this monitoring station just listening to the yards. I caught Dee Dee here jamming on some recordings.
Dee Dee was already making music when you met?
Hell yeah. This little droid's got this natural gift. No other way to put it. He just needed the right opportunity.
So what brought you two to Kobo?
After we became a team, Dee Dee and I decided we needed a change. We'd lived our whole lives in cities, factories, nightclubs. It was time to explore a more organic sound.
But why here?
Well, we tried plenty of other worlds, but never stayed long. Didn't mean to linger here either, but there's something about it. In the air and in the people, you know?
Oh, I like you two all right.
So that's us. Just a couple runaway songsters with a thing for glider sounds.
I'm glad you made it out here. I know the saloon's better for it.
And we appreciate all your help, Cal. These tracks are exactly what this space needed. Small crowd today.
Don't think they're coming back.
If the sound's alive, they'll come. They always do. Just takes them a little while to find their way, that's all.
Cal, I've seen so many stormtroopers in the valley lately. I fear the Empire is taking control of Kobo.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, not long ago, I would have argued the Republic was just as flawed as the Empire in its own way. But the Empire is not the Republic. And they are not just a nuisance. They're tyrants and murderers. I'm starting to think we did not win the Clone Wars.
Just stay safe, Toa.
You too. Cal, I've been meaning to ask. With the Empire everywhere, do you think Rambler's Reach has a chance?
Reminds me of something a friend of mine once said. One of the wisest men I've known. Hope will always survive in those who continue to fight. I believe that to be true. But things are probably going to get worse before we can make them better.
Yeah. But that does not mean I'm going to let the Empire destroy Kobo's history.
And I guess there's still hope, isn't there?
Hey, Cal.
How's it going?
I was just looking through the Academy's recent records. In the last few months, the headmasters have dismissed a dozen more of my colleagues. My friends. Guess the Empire got rid of them too. How can this keep happening?
I was on Kashyyyk. I saw the Empire tearing down forests and enslaving Wookiees. But you don't hear about that.
Information is their weapon. You know what? I'm going to try and get in touch with the others who were expelled. Maybe there's... I don't know, something we can do.
That's a good idea. You're probably not as alone as you think.
Hey, Cal?
Yeah?
You are not as alone as you think, either.
That's sweet.
I heard back from some of my friends who were dismissed from the Academy. They didn't take kindly to being silenced by the Empire. And they're planning to do something about it.
Oh yeah?
We are arranging a meeting. Turns out there are more people ready to take action than we thought. I don't suppose you'd be interested in coming along.
Maybe another time. I've got some things I need to take care of.
I figured. Hey, you know what they say, though?
I have a feeling I don't.
Sooner or later, a charged Hydron emulsion solution will find its way back to equilibrium.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Talk to you soon. I need to gather my things.
Hey, Toa.
Hey, I've been mulling over what you said about the future of Kobo. I think you're right to have hope. History has always been wont to change course suddenly and irrevocably. Did you ever hear about the discovery of the Auric Cluster during the High Republic?
No, I didn't.
Would you like to hear about it?
Sure, I'd like to.
Xanat Otzian was appointed Republic Ambassador to the Auric Cluster, which had just been identified as populated. Several Republic picket ships had been destroyed near the cluster. It was strongly suspected that Auric civilization was spacefaring and warlike. Xanath was escorted by a contingent of Republic starfighters. Everyone expected a confrontation. Unfortunately, her journey coincided with the fall of the Starlight Beacon. She lost all long-range communications and was stranded just inside the cluster, separated from her military escort. She was discovered by a passing Oryx ship and could not escape before it overtook her. And when she was boarded, she was met with a diplomatic convention bearing gifts from the riverbeds of Oryx 3. Had she been accompanied by a wing of starfighters, things could have gone quite differently.
I'm glad things turned out well there. Not quite sure we can count on good faith from the Empire, though.
All I'm saying is that history turns on small events with unthinkable consequences. I don't plan to give up on the future, no matter the past.
I'm glad to hear you say it, Toa.
It's about that time. I have to catch the next hauler off-world if I'm gonna make the meeting.
Guess this is goodbye, huh?
I guess so. But I wanted to say, when two radiogenic substances...
Easy, brain box.
Brain box? I was trying to thank you.
Hey, it wasn't a dig.
Well, it sure sounded like... Oh, a dig. Because archaeology. Not bad, Cal.
I try.
Really hope to see you around someday, yeah?
You too. Stay safe, Toa.
Okay. Are you gonna
Enjoy the
leave?
beach, Cal.
Okay, I don't think she's gonna leave.
Can you believe these Imperials strutting around like they own the bloody place?
That's what they do best.
And you know who to blame, don't you?
Who?
That blabbermouth Tor, who first let it slip that this here rock is brimming with river-clear priorite. Put a target on our backs, it did. I bet those Imperials are using the priorite to construct some secret weapon. Or a palace.
Be nice, BD.
All right, laugh it up. We'll see who's right. Do these Imperials spook you as much as they do me?
Yeah, they do.
I'm just not used to this, mate. Sure, the Reach has always been dangerous, but this feels worse somehow.
Hang in there, Har. They haven't taken Kobo yet.
Yeah, you're right. It'll take more than some TIE fighters flying overhead to break our spirits. Cal, I appreciate you sticking up for the Reach. Sure use more like you. Yeah, you too, little guy. Cal, buddy, you ain't been here long, have you?
No, not long.
Oh, me? I've been on Kobo for most of my life. Came all alone when I was a little sprout. Age of 12, if you can believe it.
Really? All by yourself?
That's right. Heard there was fortune to be had, as long as you ain't a lazy bones. And I jolly well ain't.
So how did the outpost get its start?
Like most good things, it all started with a dream.
Scoov is
A vision
gone.
of one sharp-eyed Waluna named Doma Dendra. Not 2 months after she gets here, but her general store pops into being. And the rest of the outpost didn't take long to follow.
Couldn't have been easy.
Doma looked at the first wild-eyed hooligans on Kobo and saw hard workers. Dreamers like her. A whole bloody community.
I can see why you all stick by her.
That's right. What's there but to follow someone like that, eh? Oi, Cal. Think it's time I told you more about the old days. Got a moment?
Sure.
All right. I think it's time you knew about Tendo Gugbridge.
We're off to a good start.
Was Tendo sharp? No. Bloody idiot. Was he a looker? Well, people looked all right. Fella was uglier than a shiver pea. But old Tendo had one thing worth more than any of that. The bastard was plumb lucky. See, old Tendo goes and buys the worst claim in the region. About as likely to find a payday there as in your breakfast. But not 2 days later, that rocker blasts his way into a cavern crawling with priorite. Well, Tendo fills his arms with the stuff. Couldn't see the ground in front of him. Poor fool stepped right on his detonite charge pack. The blast turned his bones inside out. How we all shared in the spoils. So much priorite, the whole bloody outpost didn't have to work for a month. But we all knew it was Tendo and his lucky tailbone that got us the first big find.
I guess he wasn't that lucky after all.
Got time for another story, Cal?
Let's do it.
All right. When I was a few years younger than you, I was working the dredgers not far from the outpost. Well, kid, I wasn't thrilled, was I? Those machines were blasted nightmares to operate. Anyways, there I was, when suddenly one machine starts screeching. Must have hit something awful, I think. I get closer to shut it off, and would you believe it? The ground beneath me gives out. I go tumbling down and find myself in a pitch-black cavern. Couldn't see my hand in front of my face. Next thing I know, I swear I hear roaring, carried by this unnatural warm wind. Horrific. I start shouting my bloody head off, and luckily old no-boots Corsa finds me and tosses me a synth rope. Back at the outpost, Doma tells me that a crew of smugglers lost a shipment of juvenile rancors in that fool cave. Can you believe it? A bloody rancor pack living under our very feet.
I'd believe it.
Ah, no, I'm just a local cut-up. But I've seen things. Things that'd turn your breakfast in your belly. I've another tale for you, mate. Got a moment?
Yeah?
I reckon you're ready to hear the big yarn. The mystery nobody's cracked.
Sounds like a good one.
15 years ago, some marauders from the Inner Rim come to Kobo. They demand half of all our exports in exchange for protection. Well, we all have a meeting that night to decide what to do. Some says we ought to do as they says and hide the exports. Doma says, no way. I'll meet with them and we'll do this right. We all think she's crazy, mind. Next morning, she meets with the marauders alone, if you can believe. Not half an hour later, they walk out of the Reach, looking like they found a ghost in their Navi computer. Before lunchtime, they're blazing sky trails. Never hear from them again. Now, the mystery. What the bloody hell did she say to him? I'd kill to know.
No kidding. I can't imagine.
Try sitting on that riddle for half a lifetime.
Lad, I've been admiring all the fish we've added to my tank. And it reminded me of something I've been meaning to get off my chest.
What's that?
Well, I'm no creature of comfort, but I've got to tell you, I've taken a wee shine to your yacht.
Yeah?
Mantis?
Aye. You know why I like her?
Is it because she reminds you
It's
of a...
because she reminds me of a fish. Stunner of a trunk, hull smooth as a Thranta's blubber, with a fin and all. Alas, it's no as agile as a real fish, though.
I don't think Grease would enjoy taking the Mantis underwater either.
I know. Cal, have you time for a chuckle? I've a wee joke for you.
Sure.
Capital. Hark, imagine there be a fish with no gills.
Is that the joke?
What do you mean? Is that... Of course! How would a fishy breathe with no gills?
Oh, I get it.
Oh, what? You think you can do better? Go on, then.
Okay. How many fish does it take to teach a class?
Give me a minute.
A whole school.
A whole Oh, lad, you're a crack-up. Laddie, did you know that I be a poet of sorts?
I didn't, but I have a pretty good idea what you wrote about.
I muckle love to fish.
Yep.
To try to catch a fish. Oh, to see through the eye of a fish. I can't recall the last line.
If only I had my wish.
Here. I do like my fish.
That was really something, Scuba.
Aye, well, still a work in progress. You know, I muckle love to fish. To try to catch a fish dish, no.
Wonderful to see you, Cal. How are you?
I'm all right. Got a lot on my mind.
I hear you succeeded in your quest.
Lost a lot along the way.
In my day, the Jedi would say that the Force is a river, and every life a tributary that returns to the greater whole.
I think Seer said something like that. To live is to lose. Nothing is ever truly lost.
I think I'll hang on to that one, if you don't mind. I'm busy, young Jedi.
No, you're not.
I still can't quite process that the Jedi are truly gone.
I know, Z. It took me a long time to accept it, too.
What is the galaxy to do without their guidance and leadership? It all seems so hopeless.
The Jedi didn't have a monopoly on virtue. Or the Force. We can still find our way. Just need to work together.
I very much hope that you're right. Do you know the hardest aspect of my new life here?
Does it rhyme with gurgle?
It does not. Good guess, then. Rather, it's my lack of purpose.
What sort of things did you used to do?
Oh, everything from cataloging data disks to collating star maps.
Well, I'd say you have a purpose. Everyone here seems to be happier since you arrived.
For now, sure. But next week they'll be pulling up some 400-year-old droid, I imagine.
I doubt it, Z. You're one of a kind.
I'm curious, Cal. How did you get on after the order was... no more?
For a while, I lived in hiding. Worked for the Scrapper Guild on Braca.
Really? Do tell.
We salvaged starship wreckage. Mostly capital ships from the Clone Wars.
Oh, you must have been so frightened that they'd discover you.
Yeah, but I made some good friends. They didn't know, but I felt safer when I was around them.
Are they still on Braca?
Yeah, you could say that.
How did you and BD-1 meet?
We found each other on Bogano. He used to belong to a Jedi Master I was looking for.
I see. And you became his new owner?
We're more like partners. And friends.
Oh, of course. I meant no disrespect. How delightful. So many people have left Cal.
Oh, you're not done yet.
Been lonely in here, huh?
Will you come visit from time to time?
Of course, Z.
Then this isn't goodbye. Splendid.
Sierra and Cordova are gone.
Still can't believe it.
Neither can I. We will honor them by helping the path, Cal. Jedi and Night Sister, together again.
Place feels different now.
Of course. But we have changed, not the place.
Well, there is a Star Destroyer in the sky.
Kobo was in the Empire's shadow long before that ship arrived. We will have to face them someday.
I know. How do you think Kata's doing?
I do not know. She will need time to accept her new life. As will I. Those we loved are no longer here to guide us.
Yeah. You and I got lost a few times, and we found our way.
Yes, we did. And we will find it again. Check on Kata from time to time, but do not smother her. She needs space to heal.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Reach out to those in the network. Gather allies. Build something new.
Not gonna be easy.
Who promised that? We must be careful, Cal. Keep counsel only with those we trust.
I trust you and Grease, which is more than most have in this galaxy.
Ah, Cal. We were just discussing what we should renovate next.
Just lots else to fix around here. Thanks to the raiders, you know.
Yes, of course. But surely we can find something a bit more inspiring for our next project than a water pump.
I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Not now, dear.
So, it looks like we aren't the only ones who found romance on Kobo.
What, Turgle and Two Locked? I don't think that's in the stars.
Come now, Cal. That delightfully dark Maven has been casting wayward glances at you.
Marin? What was the look?
She's a hard one to read. You, however, couldn't be more obvious. So, what are you waiting for?
Good question. A lot going on right now.
Okay, don't get so caught up that you miss the small things, because those are the things you'll remember. Turns out our skills go pretty okay together, huh?
So modest, this one. We were perfectly darling. On Coruscant, others would construct my designs. What fun it was to roll up my sleeves and get in there. So, what's next?
Next?
That's right. I'm not done with you yet, Zeke. Not by a long shot. Oh, God, isn't it awful? I left Coruscant to get away from the Empire.
Yeah, I know the feeling, Winnie.
Now, all I see are those atrocious, though admittedly effective, stormtrooper helmets.
They won't come to the outpost. I won't let them.
I appreciate it, dear, but you can't stop an army. I despise the Empire. What they desire most is for us all to become the same. Fearful and obedient.
1,000 empires couldn't change you, Winnie. That I know.
Carl, tell me, have you ever been to Coruscant?
Once or twice.
Winnie says I've gotta go. What's it like?
A lot of ships. A lot of people.
Like one, not the other.
And I adore both. You've never lived until you've danced the night away on a pleasure bar circling the Uskru district.
I'd make the trip just to see that.
What's going on?
See, we love Kobo and all, but it was never much good at goodbyes.
I'm afraid we must say our final farewells, Carl. We have bright hopes for our future.
But those can't happen on Kobo. Not anymore.
Where are you going?
Haven't decided yet. Figured it doesn't matter, as long as we're together.
Well said, Zeke.
I understand. You need to choose what's best for you. Good luck.
And to you as well, Carl.
Take care, BD. Hey there.
All right, so that's them.
Keely? How old are you?
Why do you ask?
Because you know a lot of stuff. And I don't.
You will learn. Do you know how trees grow?
How?
One ring at a time, Kata. One ring at a time.
How's Kata doing?
To be honest, I'm not sure the kid's been around plants, but she does like to prune leaves. And there are always leaves to prune. Grease thought she might like it here.
Nice to get some fresh air. Let me know if she needs anything.
Of course, Cal. If you feel like doing some weeding, we could use that too.
Maybe BD's up for it?
You clearly have a talent for this, Cal.
Thanks. Breeze taught me a little. How long you been gardening?
Since I was a child, I've always enjoyed the company of plants. In my adolescence, I joined a well-respected nursery. My work became a passion, and I soon stumbled upon an innovation.
What was it?
Hybridizing diverse genotypical specimens with novel macrocosmetic environments.
Oh, of course.
A mouthful, yes. I mean that I developed a talent for growing new plants in new places.
Well, these specimens are lucky to have you here.
That's what they tell me.
Healy, what made you stop your research?
I lost my lab. Once the Empire occupied my planet, it seized my nursery, uprooting every flower, fern, and sapling.
That's horrible.
Worse, they repurposed my lab into a biochemical weapons facility. All my research, now used as a means for death. I refused to cooperate, escaped on an unlicensed shuttle, and here I am.
Oh, you're safe here.
I have been told that before. But when you say it, I believe it, Cal.
Plants are so pretty.
Yes, they are.
I used to look at hollow images when Papa was away.
And where is he now?
He passed. He's gone.
Not gone, Kata. When we die, we return to help new plants grow.
Any family back home, Peely?
They did not survive the Imperial occupation.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate that. My parents and siblings were soft-spoken, but all of them were defiant.
Like you.
I suppose. Now all I have are my plants. They are defiant in their own way. Vines can rise in the harshest temperatures. Roots penetrate the thickest ferrocrete. That is how we will defeat the Empire. Time, time, time.
Is there any plant you can't grow?
There was a rare subspecies of a Puglia blossom that I found quite stubborn.
You still seem frustrated by it.
No, of course not. Well, yes. It sticks with me, this one, I suppose. No matter what I did, where I planted it, how I treated the soil, it refused to grow. It was like it was acting out of spite, like a petulant child. Turns out that subspecies of Pulea blossom only grows in the wild.
It only wanted to grow on its own.
That's right. You have the mind of a true botanist.
What do you think of Kobo so far?
It's nice.
But
So many here are starving, hungry for more priorite, more credits, more land. No one is content where they are.
aren't plants the same?
How so?
Oh, they're constantly hungry, constantly craving more sunlight, more space.
You have a point.
Wanting more doesn't always mean you're greedy. It just means you'd like to grow.
Wise words. I will keep this in mind as our own garden grows.
When I grow up, I want to be a botanist, Peely.
That's wonderful. I can teach you all sorts of...
Or maybe a chef. Or a pilot.
You have plenty of time to think about it. That damn Imperial ship. Sometimes I think I should have remained on Jeddah.
The Empire's there, too.
It's the shade, Cal. Of course, flora can grow in shade. Yet to grow tall requires a constant light source. Any amateur horticulturalist knows that.
How'd you get interested in plants, anyway?
Oh, it's quite simple. I wanted children, but the galaxy had other plans. And I like to watch things grow.
I don't think Peely's got anything left to say.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
This is your spot, huh?
It's nice. I like the plants. Nothing would grow on the base. I saw a holovid once of a planet that was so green. Papa said he'd take me there one day.
If you find the planet's name, I'll take you there.
Okay.
My god, this is gonna go on forever.
Frustrated using that new arm?
Are you kidding? I love this thing. I can chop vegetables twice as fast, and I can't burn myself. Plus, it's great for self-defense.
You been getting into fights?
Well, no, but, you know, I could. If someone tried anything, you know, I'm ready. What do you know?
Something smells good.
That would be Great-Grandma Pyloon's potato namba patty.
How'd she learn to cook so well?
Oh, she had no choice. With 8 children, 36 grandchildren, and 2 lost cats, she was cooking for a small army.
I'm glad we can still enjoy her recipes.
Me too. Grandma Pyloon's cooking lives on. But the lost cats, not so much. Well, here we are, back where it all started.
Anything you do differently?
Life's like cooking a meal. Sure, you make mistakes, but you just can't start over.
I don't think that's quite right.
Oh, so what, you're a chef now? I should whip up some of Great-Grandma Pyloon's mystery mash for old time's sake. Where am I gonna find puffed salad way out here?
Oh, wait, I think this is it.
Come on in, grab a spot at the bar.
Am I glad to see you? Got a little proposition for your ears only.
Pass.
But I haven't even told you the scheme. Wait for it. Rancor Petting Zoo, eh?
You just can't help yourself, can you? I'm not gonna be around to save you next time.
So, getting a soft yes on Rancor Petting Zoo. Okay, we'll table that for now. How about bottling Kobo matter and selling it as a miracle cure? Can I interest you in a Necco cheese venture? What about a collapsed mine escape room? Ooh, I got it. Roller mine roller derby.
Fine, I did it. Happy now?
Did what?
Sent a comm letting Dreo know I'm here. It probably won't reach him. And if it does, he certainly won't reply. I wouldn't. Besides, there's no chance he'd actually come here.
At least you tried.
At least I tried.
Hey, that's it.
Talk later, hmm?
Bit busy.
No, you're not.
Come back later, yeah?
Barkeep.
Good to see you, Cal. Well, here we are. Nearly as many empty seats as when you first walked in here.
The Empire's never good for business.
Outer Rim's a tough place. Its selling point was being stormtrooper free until a few years ago.
It was good to see you.
I think that's it.
Seeing the cantina empty out, it's making me nostalgic about how the whole thing started.
Must have been tough in the beginning.
Oh, tough. Tough doesn't even begin to describe it. First off, the entire place was a mess. Stains everywhere. Mostly old food, drinks, a few body parts. I even found a shiverpede nest. Tried removing it while they tried removing my head. And it took 2 weeks before we had reliable power and water.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Oh, it was. Oh, it was back then. But now, funny. It all seems like a great story that I wish I could live again.
So this is actually kind of setting up the sequel nicely because, I mean, if everyone lived happily ever after at Pyloon's Saloon, what would be the drama in the third chapter? But with everybody leaving, it actually kind of sets up the possibility of Grease, like, selling the place and moving on.
Later, kid.
Welcome,
Talk later,
welcome.
buddy.
Make yourself at home.
Barkeep.
Good to see you, Cal. Say, Cal, what's Tanalorr like?
Outside of the temple, it's pure wilderness.
How lovely.
The best thing about Tanalorr is the quiet. It's about as far from the Empire as you can imagine.
Sounds like you picked yourself a prime plot of land.
You're welcome to visit any time.
I might just hold you to that.
See you later, Monk.
DD, throw me that sample again.
Hi, Cal.
Talk later, hmm?
I think that's it. And this guy probably still has some more stories, but...
Been seeing you around quite a bit. Thinking about a permanent residence, eh?
I wouldn't count on it, Har.
No shame, mate. You ain't the first to visit Kobo and end up staying for good. Oh, sure, we all had plans to get ours, get lost. But what's the real reason we don't leave?
Well, I actually crash landed, so my ship wouldn't fly.
We fall in love. In love with Kobo. You're one of us now. Oi, Cal, good to see you.
We'll speak later. Go on, sit forth.
We'll speak later.
Yeah, alright. I mean... Databank... 100%... Wait, what? Why are you at 98%? Who am I missing? 8 out of 8, 2 out of 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Okay, well, it looks like possibly these two have the last databank entry?
Hey, fellas, how long you been together?
Too long. We were one of the first people here, and both tried scouting for Priorite.
Had zero idea what we were doing. Couldn't find anything.
Then I remembered I hate the outdoors.
And I got a sunburn on my gastrodermis. Not fun.
Then I caught sight of the most pathetic, bumbling prospector ever to walk the planet. Rumsey Forlow.
Me too. Of course, we both started making fun of Clumsy Rumsey. I laughed at Gulu Zingers.
And I at Guido's. And we've been stuck together ever since. Because we shared something special. Rumsey was a loser.
Still puts a smile on my face.
Is that it? Guys. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. 100. And across the top, progress, 100%. Tactical guide, 100%. Guys. We did it. Wait, what did that say? Oh, inventory. Do I still have anything in my inventory? Aquarium fish. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Do we have to actually... We have to actually open up the aquarium? There we go. Now even the fish are at 0. Dude. We're done. Now, I don't think we've achieved all of the achievements. I think there's still some Steam achievements that we have not done. But as far as, like, in-game stuff goes, we've 100%ed Jedi Survivor. I just looked at my achievements, too, and there's too many to even be like, oh, you know, if we were missing, like, 2 or 3, I might be like, alright, let's go ahead and get the rest of the achievements, but there's so many Steam achievements that we're not missing, tied to, like, killing a certain number of enemies using different abilities, or, I don't even know. There's even an achievement on there for doing all the Force tears that I don't understand why I haven't unlocked that one. But, yeah, I think it's finally time to put Jedi Survivor down and start a new series. So, thank you very much to everyone who stuck with me on this journey that has been close to a year now, right? Wow. Yeah, so Jedi Survivor came out April 28th of 2023. And today, the day I'm recording this video, is April 25th, 2024. So it took me 3 days short of a year to finally 100% this game. It's been a journey. Anyway, I really did like this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. I hope it was entertaining. I understand this particular video was pretty boring, but it was a tie up the loose ends kind of episode. And yeah, Star Wars Outlaws comes out this August. I will definitely be doing a series on that. But in the meantime, continue watching the channel to see what else there is to see. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Mobius1 here. I'll see you guys in the next one.